Those of you who've been on the internet for a while will remember this story, Dear David. It was a ghost story told exclusively on Twitter, which captivated the whole internet. People really believe this was real. Now, nowadays we know it wasn't, but it's a very well-written and genuinely a little bit convincing story. Though, I don't think it always started off that way. I had my problems with this story, and I picked it apart a little bit, but it was a fun experience nonetheless. So if you do enjoy, please feel free to subscribe. I spend plenty of my time over on my Twitch analyzing horror series and paranormal sightings, anything that's scary. So if any of that sounds like it's up your street, then feel free to follow my Twitch, as you're going to see plenty of that sort of stuff. But I understand that you can't always come to a live stream. You're busy, I get that. So, sub to this channel so you never ever miss the uploaded VODs here. Anyways, all that being said, I hope you enjoy this stream. Cool. No, actually, I'm in the way more there.
Just over a week ago, the internet became fascinated with something rather strange that was unfolding on Twitter. A writer and illustrator by the name of Adam Ellis posted a claim that he was being haunted by the spirit.
Wait, you're telling me this guy is a writer and he knows how to draw? And this guy is actually being haunted by a ghost for real? Wait, you're telling me this isn't some made-up story and this guy actually is being haunted? Because, you know, it's not like he has the skill set to come up with a convincing and, you know, engaging story, right? I believe, I remember this at the time and thinking this is just clearly an internet scam. And like, I'm still feeling that way, but we'll see. It's an ARG, right? It's not real. It's not, fair enough, but we'll see. Thank you, by the way, to Lex and LZ for the subs. I'm thinking of it 12 months.
Of a dead child. The following is his story.
Alrighty.
August 7th. My apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to...
Ha! Brackets thread. Only on Twitter would you get, my apartment's being haunted by a dead child that's trying to kill me. Thread. Fuck off.
He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now.
Right.
The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge, misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it.
Right.
For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed. I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often, and it sucks.
Yeah, it does sound shit to be fair, mate.
Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I had another dream a few nights later where I was in a library and a girl came up to me and said, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you?" I asked, "Who?" And she said, "Dear David."
I kind of like remember this, and I'm like, it is kind of goofy that his full official title was Dear David.
14th months, let's go.
Thank you. Because I thought the Dear David thing was with the pencils, right? You'd be like, "Dear David, will my crush think I'm cool?" And he would point a yes, and you'd be like, "Yes, thank you, David." Right? The fact that his official title is like, "You've seen Dear David." That's Charlie Charlie. That's Charlie Charlie, isn't it? That'd make more sense, though. Surely, right? Like, Dear David sounds like you're addressing him. You know? Like, that sounds like you're writing him a letter, which makes sense if you're asking him a question. I'm, like, more put off by this. What the fuck am I...
You saw him. She continued.
I don't know. I think this guy should have been called Charlie Charlie, and the other guy should have been called David David. I mean, Dear... Fuck. I mean, Dear David, Dear David, Dear David.
He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you said Dear David first.
Oh, that's why he's called Dear David. Fuck's sake.
Then she added, "But never try to ask him a 3rd question, or..."
No, it's goofy! It's goofy, it's silly. Everyone was telling me this was really scary. I've now remembered this, and it's silly as fuck. What do you mean don't ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you? You can ask him 2 questions if you call him Dear David, but don't ask him 3. He really doesn't like the number 3, and he'll fucking kill you. Whatever. Alright, we'll keep watching. But
David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed, and he was sitting at the rocking chair near the window, staring at me.
Uh-huh.
In the dream, I say, "Dear David, how did you die?" He mumbles, "An accident in a store."
God, he really loves giving really fucking ambiguous answers, doesn't he? Fuck off, David. Give us a proper answer, David.
I say, Dear David, what happened in the store?
Oh, okay.
He
He
groans.
does eventually elaborate.
A shelf was pushed on my head. I'm frozen with fear. I ask, who pushed the shelf?
Fuck off, you dickhead! You were given one rule. Don't ask him 3 questions. You're like, I'm going to ask him 3. You know what? I feel like asking him 3. I don't think he's going to kill me. I think me and Dear David have a bond. What? You're a twat. You're a bellend. Don't be... Moby dickhead. You are a Moby dickhead, mate. What are you on about? Asking him 3 questions. I mean, he didn't say Dear David, so maybe it doesn't count. Because he didn't say Dear David. Like, if you say Dear David, it counts.
David doesn't answer.
Of course, because he didn't say Dear David, mate. Also 3.
I realize that I've asked a 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do.
I realized. God almighty. How can you be so nonchalant, you give so little of a shit that you don't realize you've broken the one rule that you can only ask... This guy, he's...
At that point, I wake up, absolutely terrified.
You should be. Broken the rules, isn't it?
Over the next couple days, I googled deaths in the city, but I can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names.
Hi
Daniel,
from Bulgaria.
Dylan,
Your
Devin.
streams are always making my days better. Keep the good work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the 2 quid. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Nothing. A few weeks go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I have the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled.
Sweet.
Another month or 2 goes by, and I sort of forget about Dear David.
Yeah,
I
'cause it was
think
just
he
a
lost
weird...
track of me
It was
because
just a weird dream you had, mate. That's why. I would forget about a weird dream I had, to be fair. Fucking silly.
upstairs. But lately...
David died in a
something's
Tesco's. Yeah, he was scrambling for a meal deal when some big kid just rammed into the fucking meal deal aisle and knocked it on his head. Great shame. He never got his fucking Southern Fried Chicken wrap.
happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight and just stare at it. Almost like something is on the other side.
Like the rest of
Last
the
night-
world?
I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the hall light, nothing was there, but my cat seemed unnerved. Bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me.
So, the thread starts, I'm being haunted by the ghost of a dead child and it's trying to kill me, which is a strong headline. And all he's got is, I had some weird dreams, and then I moved apartments, and I think I may have saw something out of a window, but I'm not too sure. But in these dreams, I broke the dream rule. So, and that's it. And he's like, oh, that means a ghost is trying to kill me. Why did anyone believe this was real, man? Why did anyone believe this?
I think. I don't know what to do, but I'll keep you updated.
I can't believe people believe this shit.
Update. For the 6th night in a row, my cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it.
Clearly just found a moment where his cat sat at the door and set the clock just past midnight.
What is going on?
Okay. He's just, his cat's just doing a thing. It's 5:45 p.m, my mans. You just set the clock wrong and he's like, it's at midnight.
Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered up the courage to open the door. Nothing was out there, but I took another photo. Look at this. Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo right where the banister meets the shelves?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I rate that, to be fair. That's cool. Like, I rate that. Like, definitely, it's still fake, but, like, it's just like a little, like, just here. Just a weird, like, thing.
Hiding in the stairs. I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something like that, so I took a second photo from inside.
Yeah, no, okay, cool.
There was something out there. I deadbolted the door and got in bed because I don't know what else to do. I can still hear my cat meow.
Yeah, like nothing, mate, because you've actually seen nothing out of the ordinary yet, but like a slightly weird thing near your door that like probably could just be a person because you live in an apartment and other people live in the apartment building. Like, again, so far, like he's got no evidence. He's just claiming this Dear David thing is happening because of a dream. Like, I don't know how anyone on Twitter was like engaged. I'd be like, this guy's fucking crazy. He just had a weird dream once. Calm down, bro.
At the door. I'm pretty scared. This
would not engage me at this point if I was a Twitter user back in the day.
Was posted between August 7th and August 8th, and on the next day, August 9th, Adam posted the following. Good morning. I thought I'd clarify a couple things for new followers. First of all, I am alive.
Because people were really worried he was going to die because his cats looked at a door after he had a weird dream where he asked a kid too many questions. Again, this is just so outlandish. Like, I'm not trying to shit on it because I realize, like, this guy's just writing a story and it's harmless. But my God. I can't believe people fell for this. Because I remember being in school and people, like, being obsessed with this. And I was like, how?
Secondly, I've tested the apartment for carbon monoxide, so I know I'm not being slowly poisoned.
Why would you think that? Carbon monoxide poisoning doesn't make you hallucinate, right? Like, you just feel sleepy. And then you suffocate in your sleep. Like, carbon monoxide poisoning wouldn't cause any of that. Like, what? Does it? I don't think it does. I suppose it will do on a level that, like, a lack of oxygen can make you hallucinate a bit. But, like, it wouldn't cause... he had a photograph. He had a picture of the thing.
You expect people not to end up believing dumb stuff?
Yeah, but, like, this is... You know... Like, he had a picture! So even so, like, he's clearly not hallucinating, because anything he's claimed to have seen, he's got pictures of. You know? So it still doesn't make sense.
Last, I do have a book coming out next year, but it has nothing to do with David. This isn't viral marketing, it's just a book of funny comics.
This isn't viral marketing, he says in his viral marketing tactic. I love it. I actually love it. This guy's like, this isn't viral marketing. No one had accused him yet of it being viral marketing. He just jumped the gun because he knew it was viral marketing. He's like, by the way, guys, this isn't viral marketing. Because it's not about David. In his I love this guy. Like, I have no hate. I'm ragging on him, but I have no hate. Like, it's just funny. It's just funny.
So I hope that clears things up. I'll keep you all updated should more weird stuff occur. Later, Adam returns again, this time saying he's downloaded a sleep talk app to see if he can manage to record anything strange. He also posts yet another picture of his cats monitoring the door, which he says has become routine at this point. The next morning on August 10th, David says that the sleep app picked up way too much noise the night before, and that he was going to try playing with the settings to see if it would help. Later that night, he posts more pictures and videos of his cats at the door just before midnight, as expected. August 11th.
I like that he's pacing it out well, though. Like, he didn't go, I'm going to try download a thing. I'm going to try and download this app tonight and see if anything happens. And then, like, immediately goes, guys, something happened. Like, then you'd be like, it's weird. Like, I like that he's pacing it out a bit at least. Like, that at least makes it a little bit more believable.
11th. We're once again given more updates from Adam. I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recordings each time it hears something.
You see, this is a little bit different. This is more like this. The fact that it happened only 2 days in is a bit odd, but like, what are the odds?
There were 33 recordings. Most of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and such, but there are 3 that I'm actually interested in. The first one is a snapping sound and what seems like a single step. It's odd because I didn't get out of bed all night.
Mm-hmm. He puts it on fucking SoundCloud. That's crazy. Yo, this shit fire! This shit fire! That's cold!
This one is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has that strange electric sound throughout.
This is good. Like, the story starts off goofy, but like the sound design here is kind of cool. Like, 'cause it's all very subtle sounds. Like, so far it's nothing. The reason things aren't believable, same when I'm watching the ghost sighting videos, is some things just like, oh my god, that's so out there. Like, so good, too good to be true. Like, you're clearly faking this. Like, where like this is like, these are all really subtle, and that adds a lot of believability because like you've set up like. If you didn't already set up the idea that you think something might be going off, none of these would be crazy or weird. But like, because he set up a bit of a story, he's like, I have a weird hunch. And like, these sounds are kind of weird and stuff like that. It's like, that makes more sense, you know? But also, yeah, the shit is fire for real. Like, this is the stage where I'm like, I get why people believe this. But like, the setup, you know, if the setup wasn't so goofy, then this would be believable. Because he's doing really well by making this subtle, but like, too bad the story up until now was really silly.
Directly follows the electric static. Another snap, and then I groan in my sleep.
Like the idea, because this is fake, that he had to like he had to make all these sounds, that he had to just into his phone go, I find that very amusing.
These happen between 2 to 3 in the
Because
morning.
he had to do that. That wasn't actually him sleeping. He just had to go into a microphone.
I have no explanation for them. I'll keep recording and share if I find anything
Like, none of that's
curious.
crazy, you know what I mean? But he's like, yeah.
After this, Adam posts a few tweets saying that he's going to be out of town for the weekend, and that in the meantime he's gathered up supplies for when he returns.
A Ouija board.
Things like sage, stones, and a Ouija board.
Ouija boards are bad news, bro.
August 13th.
Don't fuck with it.
Adam has returned home and begins updating us once again. So, a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt.
Okay. I already am.
I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend because they're fun and dorky, and I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. Polaroids
Convenient.
are stupid and fun and inherently sort of creepy. I didn't expect to find anything, and for the most part, I didn't. I took a couple of my living room and my bedroom. That's the
Bit of a
rocking
mess.
chair where I first saw David.
Ah.
They're pretty unremarkable. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo. The Polaroid developed completely black. I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack just to see if it was an undeveloped Polaroid, but they start out white. I also thought that maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my fingers, so I took a photo while intentionally covering it. The photo on the left is me covering the lens with my finger.
Why don't you just take another one of the hallway? That seems like the better way to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that one came out weird. I'll do another one of the hallway. And if that comes out weird, you're like, oh, right, that's weird. Like, you know what I mean? That would be the more logical thing to do rather than just covering... What? That's weird.
The one on the right is my fully lit hallway taken just after midnight. Okay, so one last thing because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple of videos of me taking the photos.
What?
Okay, here's my living room. And I'll leave that there. Okay, now I'm gonna take a photo of the hallway.
The
just
evil
to
Dear
show
David
you
hallway. Like an evil David.
what that's like.
I wonder if he hid anything in the video, like an evil David moment. He like moves the camera and something's there. Oh, they develop quick, to be fair.
And as you can see, the first one has already developed.
Put those dogs away, man. You got them dogs out.
Does.
If he ends the video now, like, that'd be disappointing. If it develops all black, like, now, it's quite impressive. You know what I mean? Like, watching it develop all black in real time, that's cool. I don't know how he's pulled that off.
It's gonna take a minute.
It does appear to be happening, though. Huh. That's cool. I don't know how he does that. They don't develop that quick. No, they usually don't. That is weird. That is weird. I don't know how he did that. That's a cool thing. I'm very impressed. I don't know how you pulled it off. There's a thing over the lens. Yeah, did you just pop a thing over the lens, do you think?
I
guess he just popped a thing over the lens when he did it, yeah. But still,
But it is developed.
that is an interesting, like... It's... I rate it. Like, he probably did just cover the lens, like, I imagine. It's cool, though.
Black.
Yeah, rate that. There's a button that closes the lens. Ah, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Adam tries taking another picture of the hallway just to make sure, and according to him, it came out black.
It's cool. Like, you know what? Like, you know, if he hadn't started it with such a goofy fucking, like, don't ask him 3 questions or he'll be mad. Like, I'd be like, oh, it's weird. Because, like, all the evidence he's providing is, like, subtle enough. It's like, this is weird. But it's not, like, outlandish, like, fucking shit flying around his house and a weird, creepy little boy. It's just, like, strange-ish shit.
Yet again.
I rate that. I really do.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm still fucking around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation. Someone told me to take photos from farther away, so I tried that. Once with my iPhone and once with the Polaroid. Left is with my phone, right is with Polaroid.
He clearly just turned the light off, but again, it's cool. I like this thing he's doing. It's cool. Like, if he did that one in real time, that'd be crazy. I know he won't, but like that'd be cool.
The hall light was on both times. Why is it pitch black?
Trust me, bro.
each
Trust me,
time
bro.
with the Polaroid?
Trust me, bro. It was on.
August 14th. Adam posts images of himself using the sage he ordered to cleanse his apartment, making sure not to miss the hallway and rocking chair. He updates us a few more times saying that the sage doesn't seem to help and that he barely slept the night before, and said that he kept waking up feeling like something was wrong.
Oh, so the sage isn't helping. Oh, no.
August
Can't sage
15th.
away David.
Sage didn't work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting on the chair across the room.
Ah.
He was smaller this time, almost shrunken.
So maybe the sage is helping. Maybe you're shrinking him down. Maybe you can turn him into like a little borrower, and you can do you can like. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like maybe you can have a little bit of fun there.
He didn't do anything except look at me. Anyway, I feel like it's a bad omen.
Why don't you ask him another question?
August 16th. Apparently strange faces have been showing up in some of the photos I take. A couple people have pointed this out, which I don't have a real explanation for. There's also this, which seems less weird, but still odd that it resembles David.
What? What resembles David?
Make of it what you will.
What resembles David? What am I looking
The
at?
second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might just be a reflection.
I don't think he actually put a face in that. I think someone on Twitter just went, that looks a bit like a face, and it like doesn't at all, but like, you know, Twitter uses... Oh, it's behind the thing. Oh, interesting. Well, maybe then. Because it's not actually in the Polaroid? Maybe that is edited in.
For.
Sorry, I thought it was in the Polaroid.
There's
behind
also this, which seems less
Yeah, what are you... I'm not seeing anything?
weird, but still odd that it resembles David.
What
Make
does?
of it what you will. The second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might just be a reflection. Still odd that it resembles David.
I actually cannot figure out what on earth I'm being shown. What resembles David? There is a hand? Where?
David. Make of it what you...
This? Are those eyes and that a mouth? Like, is that it? That's a push. Is that it? I actually can't figure out what he's trying to talk about.
Hi, Jack. Hi, chat. Hope you all had a good day today, smiley
A
face.
lovely day. Went to the cinema with Pinely from YouTube and Sir Matt from YouTube a while ago. Yeah,
Will.
kind of silly.
The second one doesn't alarm me so much, since it seems like it might just be a reflection. But that first one gives me the creeps.
I don't think either of them are particularly worth noting.
At the time of recording this video, these are the last updates we received from Adam. If you look at everything he's posted...
Wait, is that it? Fuck off. Wait, surely there's more.
Hello, my loves.
You're right, Chloe. Is there more? 2018. When was this? That was April. Is that it? Is that where it ends? That's so boring if that's where it ends. Okay, no, Loey's is more recent. Right, we watched the Loey one. Hers is more recent. We can actually piece. Right, we'll skip it in a little bit.
Hello, my loves, and welcome.
Yeah, right, love. Right, where are we going? How far?
Just minutes. We let him know on Twitter that there was something eerie in the background behind.
Oh, I'm good. I skipped into the perfect moment. Look at me go.
Behind him, saying eyes, nose, and mouth, misshapen head.
Oh yeah, it does kind of. Actually, when I look at it like from this angle, I can kind of see it.
Small stature. Please tell me that's just a painting. And he responds with, I have no explanation for this. I remember that the next thread of tweets was what got me really into Dear David and really freaked out about the whole thing. This was on Monday, August 14th of 2017. So, a weird thing just...
My birthday! My birthday! I was turning 15, my 15th birthday. I was 15 when Dear David was... I was 14 and 15 when Dear David was going on.
Happen. Take it with a grain of salt. He then has a picture of his Instax mini...
Hey, what? This is told in the wrong order. Never mind. We've been here. Okay, wait. No, we've been here already.
Following this link of like his tweets seem like all this ghost stuff has been spooky distance. Have any guarantee? It's just a whole other weird stuff has been happening.
Okay, so now we're into it.
I've been recording myself sleeping, and it picks up this weird static electricity sound every
Someone
night.
just said, "Happy late 15th." Thanks, man. You're like nearly 6 years too late, but thank you.
3 a.m. and it lasts about 5 minutes. This morning I woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake. I debated even mentioning that on Twitter because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying.
Him kind of leaning into the idea that it could be made up, but he feels bad that it looks like it's made up, so he isn't going to say it, is kind of a good technique to make people think you're telling the truth. Like, oh, this feel. I don't want people to think this is fake, but this is crazy. Like, when you do a more crazy thing, being like, I didn't even mention this because, like, I figured that, you know, that is, you know.
Woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake. I debated even mentioning that on Twitter because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying. It's just a whole bunch of small things happening at once. I feel
Which
so
is a clever
uneasy,
way to convince
like,
people.
right before a thunderstorm
like,
comes.
Again,
everyone
I
is
keep
telling
saying
me
it, but like, he gets good at convincing people, but he starts out wrong. But I can get why people got convinced, because if you weren't there from the very start, it does seem kind of convincing. Like, if you saw it in the opposite order, like if you saw these little things and then you heard the backstory, you'd be like, oh, that is weird. But if you start off with just the backstory, he starts off too weak.
But I don't have any guarantee that this won't follow me. The following night, he tweeted a severe thunderstorm warning in his area. They just issued a thunderstorm warning for tonight. Everyone in the city is talking about how weird the sky looks. I can hear rolling thunder in the distance. Now, keep in mind that while that may not necessarily seem like part of the story,
it doesn't.
Adam himself has curated this Storify that I am following, this link of like his tweets that I'm following. So it's very clearly like part of it. Monday, August 21st, 2017.
I think that means that he put together, after this was all said and done, like a kind of archive of all the stuff, and he included that. So that's interesting. But yeah, it's a weird thing to include.
All this ghost stuff has been spooky, but this past weekend was the first time I actually felt unsafe in my home. Thread. On Friday night, there was supposed to be a huge storm. In the end, it passed, but that night was bizarre anyway.
Oh, it was needed context, right?
I was incredibly tired for some reason. I had a dream that night where David was dragging me by the arm through an old abandoned warehouse. I'm not sure why I didn't fight back in the dream, or how he was strong enough to pull me, but that's dream logic for you. It was a creepy dream, but I didn't think much of it when I woke up. I took a shower, and then I noticed something. I had woken up with a huge bruise on my arm. And you can see that bruise kind of close to the wrist area.
Can I?
Now look.
Can I? I don't think I can. Also, that's clever. Like, dude bruises his arm. He's like, I could work this in. Or that, or he faked it. But like, I fucking can't see shit, to be honest. But whatever.
See that bruise kind of close to the wrist area.
Ish. But like.
Now look. Maybe I injured myself the day before, and my arm was hurting during the night, which manifested as a dream.
Makes sense.
There could have been a totally logical explanation for it, so I brushed it off.
I like that he gives the logical explanation, like, before the viewers do. He's like, look, it's probably this. And like that gets you on, that gets him on your side. Like, you're like, oh, he's logical like me. He's not some fucking crazy person. Like, he also sees that there's a logical explanation to this. So then you're more inclined to believe him when he says things that are slightly more paranormal. It's clever. Like, it's very clever.
To get coffee, which I do every weekend. When I walk to the coffee place, I always pass a food cart repair depot. It's always incredibly busy, especially on the weekends. I've lived in the neighborhood for over 4 years, and the place has always been jam-packed with carts getting serviced. But today, it was completely abandoned. The whole warehouse was totally gutted.
I kind of like that he just kind of things happened in his life, and he went, write that in.
And empty.
It's clever.
Well, almost empty. I went inside to look around because I was astonished that
I love how I started shitting on this, by the way, to begin with. I was like, this is goofy, but now I'm getting into it. I'm like, I like his... He writes things in cleverly, but the whole concept is a bit like...
This place was suddenly empty after all these years. Basically, the only thing in the entire warehouse was a single green chair. If you recall, David first appeared in my green rocking chair. It could be nothing, but it's weird that it was the only thing left behind.
That's funny. That's interesting.
On my way back from coffee, the warehouse had been shuttered. It's remained shuttered ever since.
It's interesting. I do find that's cool writing.
Chair, the bruise, dreaming about an empty warehouse and then passing by
one. Oh, yeah, he dreamed of an empty warehouse. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, okay. The writing's getting clever. Like, I can see why people go into this. The writing's getting clever.
It gave me the creeps. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much that night. Too many strange things are happening.
No, I agree. It didn't look green, but hey, we're gonna forgive it.
So, I don't know. Anyway, it was just a strange weekend. Also, from filming this video, I've been filming for like half an hour already, and my battery's already so low. I'm glad I charged another. Friday, August 25th, 2017.
Thanks,
there have been a few small developments in my apartment, but I'm really not sure what to make of them. I just know that I'm scared. Thread. If you recall, my cats usually gather at the door around midnight, but lately it's been getting earlier and earlier every night. I was almost used to the routine, so when they started to cry at the door closer to 10 p.m., I was confused. They began a new routine. Hover around the door at 10 p.m., cry for 15 minutes, then wander off as if nothing's wrong. But this week, something else has been happening. Shortly after the usual cat stuff, around 10:30 or so, I start getting phone calls from an unmarked number. He includes a screenshot of a bunch of no caller ID calls. My entire call history for the past week looks like this. You'll notice I answered one yesterday. Since this has been happening for days on end, I thought it might be an automated telemarketer or something. Usually if it's an automated thing, if you answer once, they quit calling. So I picked up.
Right.
Instead, what I heard on the other end was a peculiar electrical...
She skipped a bit. I didn't say anything. I just listened, waiting for some automated message to chime in.
Static sound, very similar to the static my sleep app picks up at night. I didn't say anything. I just listened, waiting for some automated message to chime in. After about a minute, the static stopped.
She changed it around, sorry.
I kept listening. I heard what I thought was breathing, but it was so faint I couldn't be sure. My heart was racing, so it was hard to hear. Then, just as I was about to hang up, I heard a very small voice whisper, "Hello." Something about the way they said hello freaked me out. It wasn't a question or a greeting, just hello, a flat statement.
All right.
So quiet, I could barely hear it. I panicked and hung up. I didn't know what else to do. I closed all the curtains in my apartment and turned on every single light. I watched TV until dawn because I was too scared to go to sleep.
Again, just the ounces of realism. Like, I've done that so many times when I've been freaked out. And like, okay, just watch TV until it's daytime, then I'll go to sleep in the day.
I sort of feel like I'm losing my mind. If I look at each individual incident on its own, there are perfectly logical explanations for everything. But after 3 weeks of weird stuff happening, I don't know how to make sense of it all.
Based.
The only thing I feel like I can do right now is write everything down. So that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'll keep doing. The following update was Monday, August...
Hey, yo, Dear David has a phone. Dear David got an iPhone. His mommy got him an iPhone. And he's calling the guy. He's like, hello, it's me, Dear David. You asked me too many questions, dickhead.
28th, 2017. So I moved the green chair out of the bedroom weeks ago. It's been in various parts of the living room ever since.
Just get rid of the chair. Why are you so attached to the chair? Just get rid. Bin it, mate.
I should probably get rid of it, but I'm not sure that would have any effect.
Oh, never mind. He's always on top. He knows what the viewer's going to ask. I like that.
Also, I'm going on vacation to Japan in 3 weeks.
Sick. Well
done.
I
keep thinking if I can make it to my trip, this will all end, as dumb as that sounds. David lost track of me once I moved, so maybe if he believes I've left the apartment again, he'll leave me.
What do you mean he lost track of you? How do you know that? Because he left you at... Oh, you see what... Sometimes he'll say shit and they'll be like, what? What do you mean? Like, he acts all skeptical. And then he'll say, like, David lost track of me once. And he'll, like, say something so, like, on the nose about, like, this ghost. I'm like, I thought you were skeptical yourself. What? Yeah, that's when it loses me.
Alone. Anyway, last week I bought a pet monitoring camera so I can keep eye on the cats while I'm overseas. It's basically a nanny cam that connects to the Wi-Fi so you can check in whenever you want. It runs 24/7. And then it includes a screenshot. It also alerts to sound and movement via an app. I blacked out the company since I doubt they want to be associated with ghosts. In any event, I decided to test it out this weekend. I was away from home one night, so I said...
Interesting detail. I wonder whether he, like, always planned on, like, this being a thing. Because, like, no brand's really gonna... It's interesting. I don't know. Like, no brand's really gonna give a shit, right? Like... Why does he think he's gonna get sued over tweets? Unless he's, like, planning on publishing this or something.
Set up the camera before I left. My phone pinged periodically through the evening, alerting me to the cat.
Also, someone said Dear David is a gamer. He literally has a headphone dent. Fucking hell. That's what it was. It was just like some gamer kid. Like, while he's all like weak and like scrangly, he's just like, I don't go outside. I love League of Legends. What's your favorite champion?
Cats running around and playing. Normal stuff. Then, around 11, it alerted me that it detected motion. But when I checked the feed of the apartment, I didn't see anything. I watched the feed again. Still nothing. I watched a third time, and I finally noticed something. Watch the chair.
Does it rock? No! I wonder how he got it to start rocking backwards instead of forwards. So if you put it with a string, go forwards first. I wonder how he did that. It's interesting.
I knew it couldn't be the wind because I haven't had the windows open at all this summer. I have AC and I like to keep it chilly. It was unnerving, but there wasn't anything I could do about it right then. So I flipped my phone off and tried not to panic.
I think because I know this is fake, I'm not that engaged, but like that would get me at the time. I don't know how you, maybe you just reverse it, but I don't know how you fake that. You know, it like, how do you get it to start? How does it start?
I knew it.
I don't know. It did start. Because it starts back. I don't know how you do that.
It couldn't be the wind because I haven't had the windows open at all this summer. I have AC and I like to keep it chilly. It was unnerving, but there wasn't anything I could do about it right then. So I flipped my phone off and tried not to panic. About a half an hour later, I got another motion alert. And here is a feed of that one.
Okay. What happens? Is it the chair again? It's just a fucking really obvious jump scare where he ends it. He's like, lol, got you. Oh, what happened? A thing fell.
If you miss it the first time, like me, look above the shelf. It's a little turtle shell that I hung on the wall. Yes, I know it's weird to own a turtle shell, but my family lives in Montana, and I picked it up last year at a native trading post. Since I've been back home, I've been too nervous to turn the camera back on. And today has been pretty quiet. That said, I feel really uneasy. I put the chair in the hall. I hope nothing else happens tonight.
He put the chair in the hall. The evil that's the evil hall. Why would you put the evil chair in the evil hall? It's gonna power them up, bro. It's gonna power them up.
On Tuesday, September 5th, 2017. It's happening again. Thread. I've been leaving the nanny cam on 24/7. It records every time there's movement or sound, as you know. I was going over the feed this weekend and I noticed some weird stuff. During the night on Saturday while I slept, it recorded the cats in the living room. It seemed pretty unremarkable at first. But then, after a few moments, Maxwell freaks out and jumps over something invisible.
Is this gonna be like cat behavior? Just like normal cat behavior? Does he have 3? Oh, he only has 3 legs. Oh, poor baby. He only has 3 legs, right? Does Maxwell have 3 legs? Aw. Yeah, also, though, that was just like normal. Like, cats sometimes do strange shit. Like, they a bit of breeze, and I'm like, oh. Oh, no, I'm not. I think, again, he just got a weird bit of footage. He's like, oh, I could convince people this is ghosts. Might as well, you know.
I don't think it was a bug or anything. Maxwell doesn't react like that with bugs. He just eats them. Something spooked him. What's more, I almost never get bugs. I've seen maybe 3 in all the years that I've lived here.
Anyway, Maxwell's eating them all. You don't get to catch them before Maxwell fucking gobbles them up, bro. That's why.
The next night, the camera recorded a couple more strange videos. Specifically, it recorded Maxwell doing this on and off for hours, and Maxwell is like meerkatting in the corner, which if you don't know, usually it's like cats do that when they're really intrigued by something or really freaked out by something. He'd sit up on his hind legs and peer around the room as if looking for something, or looking at something. This is odd behavior for him, and I can't come up with an explanation for it, especially because of the next video.
Okay.
Here's the final video.
This is getting harder and harder to fake. It's as if he's just like kind of, this footage has occurred and he's like, I could write narratives around this. Which is clever, because like I don't think you could get cats to do this, you know?
The camera recorded that night.
It just looks like he's seeing a fly, to be fair, mate. I'll be honest. He's cute, though. I like Maxwell.
I suppose there's a chance it was a fly, but I honestly never get flies.
Again, just everything I say, it's like probably that. He's like, I know it was I'll be like, oh, it was probably like fucking, I don't know, like, I'll say, oh, it's probably a fox. He'll be like, I know it was probably a fox. Like, every time he beats me to the punch.
So that seems unlikely. I just can't shake the feeling that something has made its way into the apartment. It's odd behavior for Maxwell in any event. Things feel off this week. I can't explain it. Future me one more.
Well, before future you says anything, Loey, you'll never guess what. It's the top of the 3rd hour. That's right, a 3-hour-long Jack Manifold stream. Can you believe it? I can, because I actually planned on doing a longer stream today. I felt it in my soul. I felt like I needed to do one. So, you know what that means. You know what it means. You know what it means. We're going to... Hello? Don't buffer. The fuck do you think you are buffering? I want my music now. Thank you. Anyway. God. It's top of the hour. You know what that means? We run a minute-long ad because I asked that every viewer of the Jack Manifold TV stream supports it in some way, shape, or form. But I know that not everyone has the expendable income to donate, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. So I simply ask for a minute of your time, which I know you have. You've been here for 3 hours. Simply watch a minute worth of ads. And then right afterwards, we'll continue on with the Dear David story. You won't even realize. You don't even have to watch the ads. You just need to leave them open. But of course, you can always subscribe. You can always Prime. So avoid all those ads for the next 30 days. It's $4.99 or free. If you click subscribe now, see if the Prime option is available. You may have forgotten you had it. I do it all the time. Simply click it, see if it's there. If it is, use it. That's all I ask. And also, while I'm here asking you to do things, if you haven't followed already, feel free. Your name appears there as a little thank you, and I greatly appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be doing more horror stuff tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. The plan is to do more horror stuff tomorrow. Can't guarantee it. Depends what happens on the S&P. Because I've decided I'm never going to go on the S&P without streaming it. That's my rule. So if something happens on the S&P, I might have to stream that. But we'll see. Either way. Thank you for all the followers that just came through. Let's run that ad, and I'll see you all in a minute. Take care. Someone said, what?
Hopefully there isn't a spooky scream with this dono.
There isn't, don't worry.
I babysit sometimes for a family friend and they have a 3-legged cat and the kid then casually explained to me the cat died on the table and then asked me if I wanted to color LMAO.
Kids don't do trauma too good. They just kind of like, they want to express it, but they don't know how. So they're like, this thing happened, I don't like it. Anyway, let's move on and do another thing. They don't get social cues yet. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, though. It's probably kind of a difficult situation. Thank you for the 492 there. You're a big fan of strange amounts. You've donated 492, 26.12, and 20. Oh no, wait, that's straight 20. It's actually normal. Oh, it's in dollars. It wasn't in dollars when I first saw it. That'll be why. What's the name of the song? This one, it's the Wii Shop theme. Surely you've heard this before. If you had a Wii or watched any YouTuber ever, like either of those should probably lead you here. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. The ads are done. Thank you for watching them again. It really is appreciated. I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. Let's get back on with this Lowy video, shall we? Turn the music off. Let's get that going, shall we?
Time with part of the story that wasn't in the Storify. This was on September 11th, 2017. Every night before bed, I go through the same routine. I feed the cats, brush my teeth, and lock every single one of the 3 locks on my door because I'm paranoid. Don't ask why my door has 3 different working locks plus what looks like the remainder of a break-in. I prefer not to dwell on it. Anyway, the other
I think 3 locks isn't unreasonable. Just makes your door more secure. You know, it's fair enough.
night I was getting ready for bed as normal. I went into the kitchen to get cat food. I hadn't even gotten to the pantry when I heard a loud crack. It's better to just watch the video, since the nanny cam records everything now.
Alright, yeah, he's walking about. The music doesn't help with this, because I'm supposed to be listening to the audio, right? The creepy music isn't helping in this situation. Alright. Oh, a thing fell. That was the loud crack. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Just kind of fell out of the blue. What was it? Oh, it was one of his cacti.
That cat is still alive, but it died while getting its leg removed and was revived. Bro is doing just fine, sorry lol.
Oh. Died on the table like that. Oh. Still, same thing I said earlier, but I'm glad the cat's okay. Thank you for the fiver. Dude, put a shirt under that hoodie. Don't tell him what to do. He can wear a hoodie with no shirt. Leave him alone. It's probably warm. Yeah, put that fucking chain on, my guy. Some bits of this are well done. You know?
At first I thought maybe it was one of the cats who'd knocked it over, but they were both in the bedroom. As you can see, I slid the lock immediately after realizing what was going on. I also checked it about 4 more times before bed. The thing that fell was this little knitted cactus and a terracotta planter. It's totally busted now. I live right next to a subway line, and my whole house shifts and shakes every now and then, which could explain this. I always get in my head making excuses for whatever's happening. I'm still skeptical, but now every little sound freaks me out. I leave for Japan in 2 weeks, and it can't happen soon enough. Saturday.
I like that he's kind of hyping up his own conclusion. That's
September 16th, 2017. I've been having so many nightmares lately. Thread. They're way more intense than my usual dreams, too. I don't know if it's because I'm stressed or if it's something else. Okay. This afternoon I took a nap and I had a dream I haven't been able to shake. In the dream, I was laying in bed and rolled over to face the other direction. On the pillow next to me was a severed head with a bloody spine attached, snaking down the bed.
That's pretty
The head was staring right at me, somehow still alive. It had this huge smile plastered on its face. Horrified, I screamed, "What happened to you?" The head smiled even bigger. "It feels great," the heads groaned.
The heads? Do you mean head? I think it's just a typo, right? God, I was like, it's a very... It feels... That's weird.
After that, I woke up.
It's a weird, creepy thing. He's written that well. It's a cool, creepy thing for it to say. It feels great. It's weird.
Dark outside by then, and everything was quiet. Other dreams have been just as strange. Things like dark figures staring in my windows, even though I live on the 2nd floor. Stuff that makes no sense in relation to what I've been experiencing in real life. After that dream about the head, I've been feeling uneasy all night. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it is
I decided to
creepy.
go for a walk
I
for
would
no other
struggle.
reason than to get out of my apartment. I went to a bodega a few blocks away to
Don't know
get
what a
snack.
bodega
On
is.
the way, I had to pass the warehouse that was boarded up a few weeks ago. It's actually on my way to everything. I pass it twice a day just to get to the subway. I hurried past it since it freaks me out now. At the
Reasonable.
bodega, I got some Doritos and a seltzer, then made my way back home. When I passed
The most American meal, by the way. Doritos and a seltzer. No one outside of America drinks seltzer regularly, I swear to God. Whenever I go to America and, like, people are drinking, it's just fucking seltzer.
What are you doing?
I'm watching the Dear David full story. What are you doing? Watching me? Makes sense. Thank you for the 9 months. Yeah. Seltzer is like alcoholic water. Alcoholic flavored. Imagine flavored sparkling water, but it's got alcohol in it. It's quite shit. I don't really rate it, but whenever I'm in America, everyone's like, "Oh, do you want a seltzer?" And I'm like, "No, I can't drink. That's illegal." But I wouldn't want one anyway on account of it's fucking seltzer. I've had it before. Like I've had it in the UK, of course, but I've had seltzer. And it's pretty shit.
past the warehouse a second time, I heard a dull thunk from the other side of the shutters. I froze in place, but there was no other sound after that. I probably should have just continued on, but curiosity got the better of me. There was a grated window next to the doors, about a foot above my head, too high to see into. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna hold my phone up to the window, take one photo, and then run for my life. I made sure my flash was on, positioned my camera lens through one of the grates, and
I wonder what
snapped
this
the
picture's
photo.
gonna be.
I almost thought I saw movement when the flash went off, but I couldn't be certain. The light bounced off the grates and was pretty blinding. I couldn't even look at the photo.
He like fills in all. I must admit, like as much as I think the story was goofy to begin with, he's very good at like filling in any blanks that you might question. Like he's like I thought I saw movement, but I couldn't because like the light flash. Like he gives an explanation to everything and like a reasoning or like it's very like he's kind of considered every angle. He is a writer, so like I'm complimenting a writer on his writing, but like not every writer's a good writer, you know what I mean? I like his level of detail. It's what leads to this being somewhat convincing at this stage. Like, you know, I'm
I just
impressed.
ran all the way home. I was too jumpy to look at it for even a while. I just ate my Doritos nervously. When I finally did look at the
American
photo,
response.
here's what I saw. It seemed to have been a different part of the warehouse, maybe an office.
Oh really?
There was a bunch of old insulation and what looked like a filing cabinet and a ripped up leather desk chair. Then I noticed something else in the upper right corner. Something that looked like a face. The more I stared at it, the more it started to look like a nondescript blur. Now I can't even be sure what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm too deep into this and my brain wants to see David when he's not there. But here, I mess with the filters on my phone a bit. Tell me this doesn't look like him. Friday.
I actually do rate the fact that these are just like nothing images, like you can't see shit. Like even squinting. Like if these are the eyes, that's the mouth, and this is the big fucking head with the dint in there. Maybe? It's fucking hard to see, like, though. But I rate that. Like, I rate that you have to, like, want to see it. Because it makes it kind of, like, yeah, believable. Because, like, it was really obvious to be like, oh, this is obviously fucking Photoshop. But, like, then you're like, well, no one would fake a shit image. Like, I rate that.
September 22nd, 2017. The past few days have been fairly quiet. I haven't been spending much time at home. I leave for Japan in a couple of hours. I've been trying to avoid anything weird before my trip. I still feel like this all might stop if I just leave for a couple of weeks. Whatever happens, I want to thank everyone for their kind thoughts and concerns. This whole ordeal has been stressful and it means a lot. It makes me feel like I'm not going through this alone. See you in a couple of weeks. Friday, September 29th, 2017. I bought a votive tablet at the shrine I'm at in Japan, and it says, please protect my cats while I'm away from home.
Oh, that's sweet.
Alright guys, I wanted to go ahead and cut this first half of the video short here. This is a very,
There's
very
more!
long story. And
There's more! Oh my god, wait, no, do I have time to finish this? Fuck's sake, Chloe. I didn't realize you were gonna fucking bait me. Oh, but I'm invested now. Shit. 5 years. Come on, we're into the solidly into the 5 years. 5 years. Where is it? Come on. Where is it? No, we're into 6 years now. I've scrolled past it. Shit. Ah, here we are. It's another 35 minutes? Holy. Oh, God.
Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello.
Oh, it's so long, but I don't like leaving things unfinished. I mean, this is literally my complaint about Spider-Verse. It's a long story. You know what? Let's watch it on let's playback speed 1.25 it.
My name is Logan.
Wait, how many is this the? Please tell me this is the last part. If there's more parts, I'm actually going to abandon it. I do not have an hour. That's the whole reason I said I wasn't going to watch Sam and Colby. I do not have an hour. Got shit to do. Could leave it for tomorrow's stream. Like, we could do that, I guess. Oh my god, the internet! How am I live on this connection?
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel.
Where are you speaking from? You scared the fuck out of me. My god. Christ. Alright. Hang on. Please don't. Let's see. Is there any more parts? Or is it just... If it's just the two, I'm willing to do it. But if it's more than two, I'm gonna have to... I'm giving up. Okay. It's just 2 parts. Alright. Cool. It's just two.
Welcome to part.
There's a playlist for it. Oh, God. We just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Playlist. Let's have a look. If it is more than a 2-part, we probably will have to abandon it. I beg you, load. I beg. There's 7 parts. No, there's not 7 parts. There's 7 parts. I'm actually done for today. Let's have a look. Dear David, we're looking for.
Hi Jack, I've been feeling weird all day, but watching you seriously makes me feel so much better.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Hello.
19! 19! I mean, okay, so clearly, I think she obviously did like the first fucking 14 videos and then summarized it in the 15th, which is what we've watched. Oh, these two. But then there's still an ending that's 20 minutes and... No, there's like actually like an hour at least. No, okay. No. Okay, we can finish it tomorrow. I'm just telling Twitter we're finishing this for anyone who was here yesterday who wants to finish it with us. God, my internet's going shit again. I upgraded to Windows 11, and ever since that, the internet, like, web pages just load at snail's pace. You need to work out what that is. Either way, it's sorted now. Let's get back to this
story. If you guys have not already watched part 1, I highly recommend.
I have, Loey. I have.
Now, this entire video was filmed in one chunk, but it was really long, so I decided to divide it into 2 parts. So here you go. Here's part 2 and the finale of the.
Yeah, I just realized you're at a hotel. Where are you?
Story. Tuesday, October 3rd, 2017. It's my last full day.
I also like that she chose to record this video on the floor. I just realized that. Like, she's got a perfectly good sofa behind her, but she's like, no, I'll sit on the floor for this one. I respect that.
In Japan. Thread. The past couple of weeks have been...
Oh yeah, so he goes, it basically ends the last one where he's like, he goes to Japan. He's like, I think if I just go to Japan, like if I get to my trip in Japan, basically he moved house halfway through and he reckoned David left him alone for a bit, but he only moved upstairs in his apartment block. So, you know, he started having weird stuff happening to him again. But the, also, yeah, brackets thread was like such a funny bit. But anyway, he thinks if he goes to Japan for 2 weeks that David will forget about him and he'll move on. But here he is. It's his last full day in Japan. That's where it starts.
Pretty peaceful.
Chats
I
in
have
the way I'll
people
move
taking
you.
care of the cats, and they say they've been doing fine.
This morning I went for a long walk around Sapporo. I never really planned my vacations. I like to wander a lot and see what I find.
That's me. I respect
I came
that.
across a statue in a park. I couldn't find out any real information about it online, but it was weird and pretty. I was taking pictures of it from different angles since it's cylindrical. I moved around to one side and almost dropped my phone at what I saw. It felt too similar to be a coincidence. I felt dizzy staring up at it. This kid with a dented head. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting.
Oh yeah, so Dear David is like this ghost kid with a dented head. He's got like a big misshapen head. Like a big bulbous misshapen head that's kind of creepy.
Maybe this is nothing. It doesn't feel like nothing. Anyway, I have to pack for my flight home in the morning.
And he's saying this is a
It'll be good to see
sign.
the cats again at least. Thursday, October 5th, 2017. I made it home safely. The cats are fine, if a little more talkative than usual.
Where's the tweet, Loey? I want to see
Saturday,
the tweet.
October 14th, 2017. Weird things have been happening with the
nice.
electricity in my apartment this week. Thread.
Never mind.
First,
It's fucked.
2 bulbs have burned out in the hallway.
He went to Japan and nothing fixed. Japan did not save him.
At this point, I've just left it alone rather than get a ladder again. But the strangest thing has to do with the backlight on my TV. It's an LED strip that plugs into the TV itself via USB. The TV has to be on in order for the backlight to be on. But last night, the backlight was flickering on and off by itself. I noticed it just sometime before dawn when I woke up and went into the kitchen to get some water. I had barely gotten back into bed again when I saw a faint light come on in the living room. After a few seconds, it went dark again. I went back into the living room and stood there, watching the backlight go on and off for at least a few minutes.
It's Morse code. Decode it.
Eventually it stopped, and now the backlight doesn't work at all. It's only a couple of months old, so it shouldn't be dead already. Anyway, I couldn't get back to sleep, so I went to the diner near my apartment. It was the only thing open at 4 a.m. I had eggs over easy with ham. It was too much ham, but the eggs were pretty good.
Bro, just shows his meal halfway through. He's like, oh, I'm being haunted and shit, but here's what I ate for breakfast.
When I got back home, the sun was starting to come up, so I figured I might as well shower and go into work early. I showered and brushed my teeth and had it.
Someone in chat said you need to pay your electricity. Yeah, it's like, oh, just fucking pay your damn bills. Then your electricity would work. He's just like on Twitter, like complaining, like, I think David's fucking with my electricity. I'm like, no, bro, it's the fucking electricity company. You need to pay your bills.
Into the bedroom to get dressed. As I passed the front door, I thought I heard a faint scratching sound from the other side. It was so soft, I wasn't sure if it had really happened. I went over to the door, but I was too scared to look through the peephole. I couldn't bring myself to actually put my face that close to the sound, so I opted to take a photo through the peephole instead.
You've done this before, mate.
Since there's a skylight just outside my door, the hall was awash in faint yellow-green light. I snapped a couple of photos. At first, the pictures didn't seem like anything, just blurry nothingness. But as I analyzed it and started noticing things, part of a face, an ear, and an eye staring right back at me.
Is that the ear and that's the eye? I think that's a stretch. I think that's a stretch, no? This seems like a stretch.
I think maybe it's time to get someone else involved.
Sometimes, like, but I suppose it makes it kind of believable because it just seems like this guy's like clutching at straws a bit. But it's like, like a lot of the things he shows, like he's like, you can see a face. It's like, oh yeah, if you're kind of looking for it, you can, but like it doesn't look like anything.
It's obvious this isn't going to stop.
And it kind of makes it believable because then when things are a little bit more clear, you're like, oh, maybe this guy has a point. Again, I was just complimenting. He's a writer, but I'm complimenting him on his writing. He wrote this ARG very well.
I'm just not sure what that is yet.
You probably do recognize this. Dear David was very big at the time it hit, so I would imagine a lot of people will recognize this.
You all know when I figure it out. I forgot like so much of this. This is why I was telling you guys I wanted to do a full read through, because I'm telling you the story changed so much. On October 26th, he tweeted, "Sorry for the radio silence the past couple of weeks." Thread.
She retweeted that one.
First, I had a friend come over to do some cleansing stuff. She did the whole apartment in the hallway.
Okay.
A lot of self-proclaimed professional mediums reached out, plus about a dozen ghost hunter TV shows. I've declined them all because I don't really want strangers in my house sensationalizing what's going on.
I don't want them realizing it's fake too soon. I'm still writing this shit. Is what that meant. But I respect that narrative because it's believable.
So instead I had a friend come over and cleanse the place. For about a week or so, it seemed like it worked. Things appeared to go back to normal. The cats weren't gathering at the door anymore. I stopped having dreams.
Full stop.
It was starting to seem like it was over. Then, One morning last week, I was walking to work and passed the shuttered warehouse as usual. This time, all the metal doors were wide open, sunlight pouring in. The warehouse was still mostly empty, except for one thing. There was a hearse parked near the back wall. The warehouse had been closed for over 2 months.
That's dead people in there.
I had no idea why it was open that day. Nobody was around. It was weird, but I tried not to think about it. It's not all that strange to see a hearse, I guess.
It's not.
Like, they have to park somewhere.
They do.
I tried to put it out of my mind, and the next several days...
Just because dead people, like are in there doesn't mean they can't... It's a car, you gotta park it, you know what I mean? Just because they put dead people in it doesn't mean... it's like...
But something else happened last night. It was around 11 or so, and I was watching TV on the couch. I went into the dining room to get a drink from the fridge, and I noticed both the cats sitting by the far window, staring at it.
Oh, okay.
The window looks out onto the roof of the business next door. I glanced out of the window, but I didn't see anything. I figured that maybe there was a mouse in the wall or something. I shrugged and grabbed a beer from the fridge. I then put on the NFL. I started watching that shit, and I just got so outraged, I smashed my beer all over the floor. I love a beer. I just didn't know what to do, so I just had to crack open a beer. That's how you deal with your problems, right? Crack open a beer. As I went into the kitchen to get a bottle opener,
America.
I noticed something. There was a window in the kitchen which looks out onto the same roof, and someone was standing on the roof staring at me. I immediately ducked down. I reached up and flicked off the light switch. I peered over the window.
Why would you immediately duck down? That's weird. Like, I'd be like, what the fuck is they looking at me? Like, I'd stare for a little while. I'd be like, the fuck are looking at me? It's very weird. What, are you wanted or something?
Sill, but couldn't see much. My phone was in my pocket, so I grabbed it and took a photo. It was blurry and dark, but I swear someone was out there. And then I know that there is a brightened version of this photo kind of floating around.
Oh, okay.
As well, where you can very clearly see the person out there, and it looks a lot like David.
What do you mean it looks like David? No one's seen David. He's just apparently a kid with a dented head. Is his head dented? I mean, maybe. It's kind of weird shaped, but he looks tall as fuck. That ain't a little kid.
As well, where you can very clearly see the person out there, and it looks a lot like David. I tried to take a better photo, but the figure had disappeared. I closed all the blinds and made sure the door was locked, and then drank like 5 more beers until I was too drunk to be scared.
He did it! He fucking drank away his problems. I was joking. That's actually what he did. He's like, I was scared, but then I just had like 5 beers, and then I wasn't scared because I was drunk. Fucking hell.
But now I feel like I'm back at square one. I'm sure it was him. He's not going.
Sure, this wasn't just like an alcohol-induced dream. Like he just drank too much. I don't trust his account now on account of the fact that he got really drunk.
I don't know what to do. November 6th. It's been about 4 months since the first time I dreamed of David. Thread. This might be long, but stick with me. Last night I dreamed about him again.
Right.
It was almost exactly the same as the first time I saw him. In the dream, I saw him in a chair again. I don't have the green chair.
I think I banged my shin today. It fucking batters, by the way. I like whenever I catch it, I caught it lightly against the desk, and it feels like it's been fucking smashed in with a bat. It feels awful. I don't know what shin splints feel like. But oh my god, it thrashes. Ow. You know what I mean? I don't know why I did. It really hurts. I bought a bike today because Tommy convinced me to go on a bike ride. So maybe I banged my shin on the bike when I was biking. I haven't ridden a bike in years, so probably didn't do it very well.
Chair in my room anymore.
I'm good, but like it just hurts. You know what I mean? I felt I had to explain that to someone because I might sit here with like a grimace for it. I didn't say grimace. Don't bring up the fucking shake. I can't get them. They're not in the UK. But yeah, I just didn't want to sit there with like a fucking disturbed look on my face because I was just in a bit of pain.
It's a recliner I've had for years. He was staring right at me.
Oh, what's this? Sorry, that wasn't.
This time, it's a recliner I've had for years. He was staring right at me, just like the first time. Again, I was paralyzed and could barely move. But this time, something was different. I still felt mostly immobile, but I could squirm just a little bit. I felt more alert. I could move my...
Why has he never bothered asking him questions again? Like, because like, the whole reason it started because he asked him too many questions. Because he asked him bullshit. He was like, how did you die? And he's like, an accident at the store. He's like, what happened? It's like a shelf fell on me. He goes, who pushed it? And he's like, oh shit, I asked 3 questions. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And then he wakes up. But it's like, Don't you get to ask like more questions per dream? Why don't you just ask him like 2 questions this dream?
And somewhat.
Never got that.
David glared at me, and I dreaded what I knew was coming. He was going to get out of that chair and come toward me, like before. I had to do something. I keep my phone next to me on the bed, and I somehow managed to get a hold of it. I thought if David is going to kill me, maybe I could at least get evidence on my phone, and started snapping pictures in the dark.
What?
Sure enough.
Sorry, wait, I've got a Tom Simons message. I'm just curious what this might be. Okay.
He crawled down off the chair and began shuffling towards
Jack
me.
behind you? What? Patrick from SpongeBob? Holy shit, guys. Thank you, saved my fucking life. Guys, oh, thank you guys. Guys, thank you guys. Fuck, I thought Patrick could have killed me. Patrick could have killed me. I could have died from... I could have been Patricked. Are you talking about that? The mask? My Aku mask? Perhaps my Creator Clash participation trophy? Or perhaps Jackman a duck? So many options it could have been. I'm not afraid.
Moved slowly, like it was a struggle for him. I felt terrified.
Patrick the American Eagle. Ah! Oh, I can't... That was a shit... My eyes rolled back into my head. That's going to get clipped. Tried to do the fucking eagle scream. One time I'd lost my voice so bad I went, ah! And it made like an eagle scream, but I can't do it no more. Shit. That's gonna get clipped. I did that. Fucking Ahegao faced it. Fucking eagle scream.
But I kept taking photos. David limped.
What was this? If David is gonna kill me, maybe I can at least get evidence on my phone. What weird logic is that? Anyway, whatever.
Closer toward me, never taking his eyes off of me. Soon, I was face to face with him. He started muttering, something too quiet for me to understand. I watched as his eyes rolled back in his head until they were all white. I tried to writhe away.
He said, I'm fucking David, and I'm gonna kill you because my name's David, and I'm a little boy named David, which is kind of cruel, really. Who calls a kid David? Thank you, Post Huts. Thank you for the 20 months.
Crawling up onto my bed,
indeed.
Still murmuring something. And that's when I woke up. Same as before.
Sten Horror has been memories. Oh, okay.
Broad daylight, no trace of David anywhere. It's almost routine now, but it was a dream after all, so I got up and went to work, and after a while, the stress of the dream melted away. I wasn't even going to write about this since it wouldn't really be new information.
No, it isn't.
Tonight,
like, this has happened all the time.
I noticed something that petrified me.
Well, you petrified,
Went into
bro.
my phone to find a picture from a couple of days ago and saw dozens of pitch black photos in my camera roll, all from last night. It's better to just show you. Turn up your brightness because they're pretty dark. The photos that follow were the first.
Dude, David is real! He's real! No! No, he's real! Oh, no. Oh, he's dead, though. You know what it is? I said this in the first part. I'll say it again. It starts getting really realistic. And, like, it's like... But this is a big leap from, like, slightly strange noises. And, like, oh, yeah, he's had a lot of weird things happen in his house. Like, really kind of odd shit. Like, it's happened in his house, but it's all been pretty subtle and all explainable individually, and like that's why you could kind of maybe get on board that like maybe it's something, but then this is a large leap. But it's kind of built up over so long that maybe you'd be inclined to believe it. But the problem is it starts on such a goofy story. He's like, I had this dream about this kid called David. I drew him. He has like a dent in his head. And then I in the dream, a little girl was like, yo, don't ask him more than 2 questions or he'll kill you. And then I asked him 3 questions immediately like a moron. And now he's trying to kill me, I'm sure. And that was all the evidence he had. Like, he had no evidence. He's like, he started the thread, a ghost is trying to kill me. And all his evidence was, well, I dreamt that a ghost might be trying to kill me. And then, my cats stand near the door at night. But, like, this is a large leap. But also, he's real! Cutie Patootie, you know, he's got, like, an evil, misshapen head. Or, you know who else has an evil, misshapen head? Megamind. He's evil. He's got evil thoughts in there.
Photos
his big head is harboring evil thoughts.
With his dented in head and all. This is the one that made my heart drop.
Cool that he kind of made these, though. These are sick pictures. Like, they look very real.
And this is the one where David looks straight at him and you can just see the anger in his eyes. Usually
What do you mean I can see the anger in his eyes? I can't even see his eyes.
And all.
They're just kind of shadowed over.
This is the one that made my...
Can't see any... There's nothing in his eyes at all. He's just a kid. I can't see shit in his eyes. Loey, I can't agree with you here.
David looks straight at him and you can just see the anger in his eyes. Usually I can come up with some excuse for what's happening, but I have no logical explanation for this. So now I'm sitting here on my couch, freaking out. I certainly won't be able to sleep. I just felt like I needed to get this out. As you can see, the updates at this point are kind of becoming fewer and far between. We're starting to follow that 11, 12-day cycle. So this was Friday, November 17th.
Yeah, imagine posting this, like the most concrete evidence you've had of this ghost, and then being like, oh, but okay, that's it. No more updates. I died.
The next update, and the previous one was on November 6th.
Maybe that's what he wants people to think. Maybe he wants people to worry. Like, he posts that, and then he posted nothing, and everyone's like, oh shit, David got him, finally.
For everyone asking, yes, I'm alive.
Yeah, okay. That confirm my fucking game theory. Yeah, that was what he wanted people to think. He wanted to scare people.
On the quiet side, because there's something I need to investigate, and I'm not sure how to yet. I'd rather not tweet unless I have something substantial to share. Thread. It's also sort of hard to explain the logistics of what I'm trying to find out, but I'll do my best. Basically, there's a part of my apartment that I'm just now learning about.
What do you mean, secret door or some shit?
At least that's what I think. To refresh your memory, I live in a duplex. I used to live on the first floor, and now I live on the second floor.
Yes.
The long, boxy building that looks like this. The other week, I was tweeting about the most recent update from the living room couch. About 30 seconds after I'd sent the last tweet, I heard a thump directly above my head, as if someone above me had dropped something on the floor, which is impossible since I'm in the top apartment.
Sure.
There is also no way to access the roof. There aren't any ladders on the outside of the building. The only way you get on the roof is through a skylight in the hallway. There are no trees in the immediate vicinity either.
Okay, so you're telling me no one could climb up there.
It was distinctly the sound of something falling to the floor. My building is old and makes lots of noises, but this was a new sound and it startled me. So I'm thinking, is this some secret crawl space in my home? I look all over my apartment, but I can't figure it out. So I go into the hallway, and that's when something dawns on me.
What is it?
There's no real way to ease into this, so I'll just say it. There's a mysterious hatch in my hallway. I've always known about it, but I just assumed it opened directly to the roof. It's really high above the stairs, so I always figured it was impossible to access without some sort of fancy professional ladder. I took this video so you can see how high it is.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wow. Wow. Fucking hell, brother. Yeah, that's up there.
I see that hatch every morning when I leave for work and think nothing of it. But this time something dawned on me. It can't lead to the roof because it's actually below the roof. I'm about to spring some simple math on you, so I apologize in advance.
This is simple math,
First,
but I'm seeing it.
the skylight is flat with a roof. I checked Google Earth just to make sure. The hatch is about 3 feet below the skylight, meaning there's about 3 feet of empty space between the two.
What I like is that these must be real things that he's worked out. Like, in his life, he must have been like, oh, wait, that doesn't go to the roof. That's weird. I can write this into Dear David. And I kind of like that he was just writing things he discovered in his life into Dear David. I think it's what makes it so believable.
2 openings. I think maybe the hatch leads to a short ladder going to the roof. But even if that's the case, the hatch is level with all the ceilings in my apartment. That means there's 3 feet of empty space all over my apartment. I was ready to explain this away for a few reasons. One, it might just be some sort of insulated space that all residential buildings have. I'm not an architect, so what do I know? It didn't seem relevant.
I love his, like, the way he explains away his sort of, like ideas. He's like, this could be a weird thing, but also, like, maybe it's not. Like, I love how he always gives the counter explanation, because then it stops the viewers from doing that, so they can kind of get on his side, because, like, he feels like a logical person as well.
Enough at the time, so I decided I wasn't going to mention it here. But over the past week and a half, I've been hearing more things above me. A few days after the first sound, I heard a similar thump while I was in the kitchen. Then, last night, I heard something small clink to the floor and roll about 6 feet before stopping.
Bro, how good are your ears? You can hear it rolled 6 feet. How can you be like, dunk? He's like, hears it rolling. He's like, fuck, it rolled about 6 feet. How do you know? How do you know, bro?
Something is going on up there. Maybe it's a raccoon, but maybe it's not. I can't get over the fact that the hatch is in such a weird, inaccessible place over the stairs. I need to investigate. I'm just not sure how right now. I guess I'll try to buy a long pole off of Amazon to see if the hatch even moves.
Long pole would work.
I might have to buy a construction ladder.
A pole jump.
At any rate, that's why I've been MIA for a minute. I'll keep you posted when I figure out how to get up there. Okay, I bought a pole. If the hatch is movable, I'll either shell out for a ladder or call my landlord to investigate. Cool. The next update is on Tuesday, November 28th. A lot has happened in the last week, but I was away for Thanksgiving, so I'm just now able to write it all down.
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, though.
The noises from the ceiling haven't let up, but the pole I ordered didn't arrive before I had to leave for the holiday, so I didn't actually get it until late Friday night. I planned to investigate the next morning and went to bed. I barely
Is that a $40 pole? Holy, that's crazy. It's expensive.
Asleep when I woke up to an incredibly loud crash above me. It sounded like someone had dropped a bowling ball. I bolted upright in bed and immediately felt strange. There was a weird energy all around me. I can't explain it. After about a minute, I heard another crash. I briefly thought about grabbing my shoes and booking it, but that would mean passing under the hatch, and that seemed like a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
So
true,
instead
true,
I just
true.
listened and waited, though I'm not sure for what. The crash happened again and then again, probably 15 times in a row, followed
Really?
by a long silence.
Surely your
Then
downstairs
I
neighbor even
a
heard it
smaller,
then.
creaky sound from the hallway. In my mind, I registered it as a footstep, but it really could have been anything. I stayed still, but there were no more sounds after that. I lay back down, still tense and nervous, but I must have fallen asleep at some point because I woke up the next morning and everything seemed normal again. I got
Okay.
dressed and left to go get a bagel, same as every Saturday.
That's his
As I
routine.
made
He
my
loves
way
bagels.
downstairs, something crunched under my feet. I looked down and noticed a small pile of debris on the stairs directly under the hatch. It looked like dirt, but I couldn't tell for certain. It could have been old plaster or something. I glanced up at the hatch and noticed something else peculiar. The edge of something was caught in it, barely poking out.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to see because it's so far up, but I took a photo. At that point, bagels were the last
weird.
thing on my mind. I went back upstairs and grabbed the pole. I set my camera on the coat wardrobe at the top of the stairs and hit record, just to make sure it would be caught on video if a demon burst out of the hatch. Here is the video.
Okay. She's gonna open the hatch. Pull that shit, dude. Pull that shit, my guy. Hit that shit with a pole. Yeah, go for it. Is it gonna be like a fucking like tease? Is it gonna be like, oh, it doesn't actually reach? What was it? What fell? Show us, man. Show us what it is. What is it? What is it, my guy? Sock? A little sock? Or like a
I
little
jumped
sock?
out of the way and practically fell down the stairs.
Oh, it's a
trying to
little
dodge
shoe.
whatever it was that fell. At first I thought it was a dead squirrel, which honestly would explain a lot. It hit the steps and bounced down to the first floor. I went upstairs to get my phone and collapsed the pole, since it's so long and unwieldy, then went back downstairs to investigate the object that fell. At first I wasn't even sure what it was. It was a dingy, faded black. I picked it up and realized what it was. It was a small leather shoe.
Did I ever tell you guys about how when me and Scott lived at our old house, one time I went onto the garden and there was just like two different children's shoes, both of which that were like damaged and just like ripped up kids' toys and shit, like damaged children's toys. It was like really weirdly like freaked me out. So the first time Eleanor ever came over, it was like she wanted to go out on the garden because we never really used the garden. It was like quite nice. And she went out into the garden, and I hadn't been out on there in months. And then she like saw this weird shit. She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I'm like, I have never seen any of this shit before. Like, I'm like, this is either Scott Major is evil, like I've always said, he's evil, or what we eventually found out was the truth is that next door's dog could get through the fence, and he'd chew shit up and then dump it in our garden. So there was a lot of just damaged kids' toys and shoes and shit because their dog would like chew up all their kids' shit and then run it on. It was a very family area where we lived. So yeah, that was the real story. We also had a pet fox who lived on the garden. I called him Swiper. He wasn't really our pet, but he would sleep in our garden all the time because it was like a safe area for him.
I hustled back downstairs and texted my landlord. I told him I thought there was something in the crawl space and asked if he could investigate. He said he'd come back later.
It's weird that he found a little leather shoe. It's a David shoe. But David isn't real, right? But maybe he is. Oh my god.
With a ladder and check it out. A few hours later, my landlord was on a ladder.
Someone fucking... I just looked at the chat. There's like, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I was like, oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. Yep. That's funny, guys, because 1, 2...
shining a flashlight.
It's a leather shoe, guys.
I stared up at him, half expecting something to grab him and yank him into the darkness. He angled his flashlight all around and finally sang. Was this?
Oh, sorry. A few on the ladder.
There's nothing up here. But then he was like, oh wait. I watched as he reached into the emptiness with his...
free arm. And then an evil entity, a big green goblin, grabbed him and went, and he pulled him in and he went, no! And he went, Spider-Man, are you in or are you out? And it was the green goblin from Spider-Man. Can you believe that?
Arm, and when he pulled it back,
Sorry.
he had something small and round in his hand. He climbed down the ladder and handed it to
Sorry,
me.
I'm ruining the
Again,
scary story.
I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at. It was smooth and shiny, and at first I thought it was an old piece of candy, but
It's weird.
it was too cold and too heavy to be candy. After a second, I realized it was a marble.
Who the fuck are you, bro? You tell me you can't identify a marble? Look at this object. That's so obviously a marble. How do you go, that's a little sweetie. That's a little sweetie that I'm going to eat. I really like a sweetie right now. Oh, I can just feel that. I could just see myself eating that sweetie. Oh, I think it's very tasty. I think it's a good sweetie. That's I'm imagining Adam Ellis sounds like Jeff Goldblum for some reason. Oh, I'm so excited. It could be a little sweetie of some kind. That's how I imagine. He's like Jeff Goldblum.
Marble. It was so worn that it hadn't registered as a marble at first. Its shape was also sort of weird, with a little bump on one end.
Like David's fucking big head skull.
My landlord seemed unbothered for the most part. Okay, dude. And he...
What do you mean? Oh, okay, dude. Yeah, you would be unbothered. Oh, you found an old marble in this old building? I wonder how. Probably because it got left there. Like, why would the landlord be concerned? He doesn't know anything about this David shit. I mean, shut up. Oh, okay, dude. Don't piss me off because I like you.
He told me to call him if I heard anything else. I went inside and headed to my office to see if I could figure anything out about this marble that somehow made its way into my ceiling. I had nothing to go on, and in short, I didn't really learn much. But I did figure out the bump on the marble, I think. Apparently in the early 1900s, they made marbles by hand and cut them with big metal scissors, which would probably mean the marble is really old. Anyway,
Okay.
I have a decrepit old shoe and a marble sitting on my dresser.
A marble with a
Yes,
dent just like
this
David's
is
head.
new
Think about it, man.
normal.
Put it together.
Tuesday, December 12th, 2017. Sorry for the long break. I haven't been feeling great the past couple of weeks and haven't had time to update. Thread. There also wasn't much to say for the most part. I wasn't sleeping well and I was having weird dreams, but they were vague and hard to describe. I'm sleepy all day long and I've been getting sudden bouts of dizziness.
You might just not be
I
sleeping
wanted to
well.
save a lot of my thoughts about the story kind of towards the end, but I do think it's interesting that right around now he's starting to feel really strange and really dizzy. And it kind of seems like it's just around now when David's really starting to like move in, if that makes any sense. I chalked it up to always having
What do you mean move in?
earbuds crammed in and made a mental note to get my ears checked. Other than that, things were pretty quiet. I sort of fooled myself into thinking that finding those items in the attic somehow ended all of this. Not that that would make much sense.
Nope, it would
But
not.
last week, something started to happen.
No!
Late on Wednesday,
Really?
I woke up to start and felt
To you?
something strange. Like something had just been watching me. I turned on the light, but I was alone. Still, there was this tangible feeling of badness.
I thought it said baldness, and I was like, what do you know? With your head of hair. What do you know? It's gonna get pissed, but...
Everything felt wrong, sort of like when you have the flu when you wake up at night and can't really tell where you are for a minute. It was a feeling
Yeah,
I'm used to.
that's actually a very
It always
bad feeling.
accompanies David. People tweet at me a lot saying he might just need help, but I'm certain that's not the case. Every time he shows up, I feel a palpable sense of malice.
Ah, yes, he gets a vibe of evil. I mean, also, he was told in the dream that he was trying to kill him. Come on now.
There's what I felt that night. Malice. Dread. But still I was alone, and I was so tired I wound up just going back to sleep. I've been so exhausted recently I can barely function. The next
Bless
night
you,
the
man.
same
Maybe
thing
you got that
happened.
long COVID.
I woke up suddenly
Oh,
feeling
bless me. It's 2017. He doesn't even know what COVID is yet.
like I had just missed
guy.
seeing something. Like a candle had just gone out and I could still smell it. I thought about using the pet cam from the living room to monitor my bedroom while I slept, but the cord was too short to get the camera high enough to see the entire room. So I improvised. I downloaded an app that takes a photo every 60 seconds.
Why not just download an app that takes a video? Bearing in mind, you know, probably capture more footage than the app that takes a picture every minute. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just how I'd do it.
And set my phone on top of a bookcase. It's almost 7 feet tall, so it has a pretty good view of my bed and the surrounding room. Then I went to sleep. Just like before, I jolted awake hours later, feeling the same unease. I turned on the light and hurried out of bed to get my phone from the bookcase. There were probably 350 photos to scroll through.
It's a
The
lot.
vast majority of them were me sleeping in an empty room. It's sort of dark, but you can see me sleeping. I'd left a couple of nightlights on just in case anything showed up, but for the first
On my way
100
to get the
photos or
Grimace
so,
shake. Might die, but can't stop the
Hey,
Jack
man.
Manifold grind.
Happy birthday,
it
Grimace.
was just me.
Did you guys see that the fucking McDonald's CFO did that trend, by the way? That's crazy how they're leaning into it. Like, you know, so I did. Grimace Shake's fucking evil. I thought it was crazy, but I kind of like it. I'm glad they're leaning into it.
In an empty room. Then, suddenly, he was there, standing on the chair at the foot of the bed, staring at me. In the next photo, from a minute later, he seems to be staring straight up at the ceiling, just staring.
Yeah, because that's where it came from, man.
Then, he appears to collapse on the chair. The next dozen photos
What?
are all the same.
He just...
Completely.
First, I thought he's dead, which probably doesn't make any sense. He just fucking dead, David. Like, he has like a heart attack. He goes, I'm dead now. I'm dead, David, now. He just dies.
Lifeless. At first I thought he was dead, which obviously doesn't make any sense. I looked over at the chair, half expecting him to still be there, but it was empty. But
He drank the
then
Grimace
next
Shake.
photo,
Oh
he's
no.
gone.
Oh
The room
no.
is totally empty again. He's gone in the next several photos too. I figured maybe that was it, but I kept swiping through the photos. About 15 photos later, he was back, standing next to the bed.
Is he?
It was just like the last time that I saw him.
Where? Where is he? I can't even see him. Where's he at? Is he standing next to the bed? I like actually cannot. Is he there? Can't see him. Is that him? Oh, is he here? Is that him actually?
That's when my heart started to race.
He's definitely just a
I didn't
creepy
wanna
doll
look
he
at
had made, but also I respect that because it's cool looking.
the rest of the photos, but I knew
love
I
practical
had
props.
to. I swiped the next photo and my heart sank into my stomach. He was on the bed, inches from me, staring down at me sleeping. The next one was worse. In the next photo, he's staring right at the camera. After that, there's seemingly nothing. He disappears again and the rest of the scroll is just me alone in my room again. That is, until the last photo. Here is the final.
No! Oh, former president of the United States, Donald Trump, shows up on the camera. That's his hair, right? That's Donald Trump's hair. Listen here, Adam. I've heard that you're being haunted by Dear David. The awful Dear David. I actually call him Dangerous David on account of he's so evil. I think he's awful. David, Adam, I'm gonna take a picture of him. I'm gonna take your phone like this and I'm gonna, what's this? Oh no, it caught a picture of me, Adam. It took a picture of me. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. This is awful. It's terrible. It's bad news. It's awful news. I hope this doesn't get posted anywhere by the fake news media. I really hope that. I really do. Dear Donald. You got hit by Dear Donald.
Final photo on the scroll. I'm at a loss for words. That malformed ear, that stringy hair.
That's him.
I'm at a loss photo.
That malformed ear. Oh, that's the ear. I see. Oh, never mind. I thought it was like... I see it now.
Here is the final photo on the scroll. I'm at a loss for words. That malformed ear, that stringy hair. I didn't even know what to think. I looked all over my room but couldn't find anything. And honestly, I've been so exhausted, I didn't know how to process it. Even now, all I want to do is just go to sleep. Now, this is where the Storify ends. This is where Adam stopped adding tweets to the story link that he currently has pinned on his profile and has for a really, really long time. So I think that this could kind of go in a few different directions. And of course, like I said, I want to save a lot of my thoughts for the end, but this could go in the direction of maybe he forgot about it, maybe it didn't make any sense for him to keep updating it, or maybe
He forgot about it. An evil demon child. This is the stage where you stop forgetting about it. Like up until now, maybe you could have forgot, but now this is getting serious. I think.
Adam
He forgot.
left.
Oh, he forgot.
He said that all he wanted to do was just sleep, and then after that, his Storify, his story of David, was never updated again. Of course, it went on Twitter. But I do think that every little part of this story is significant and everything really does matter. On December 20th, he said, "Hey everyone, I'll be gone for the next week, visiting family back home in Montana for the holidays. It'll be nice to get away from all of this for a bit."
I died. Thread. Oh, bless him.
Thanks for everyone's kind words lately. I'll see you when I get back. Then, on January the 2nd, 2018, he said, so I've been away from the city for a couple of weeks. Thread. I went home to Montana for the holidays, and almost immediately I started to feel better. Less tired, less foggy. Up until now, I haven't really entertained the thought of moving, thinking that David would probably just follow me wherever I go. But when I left for Montana, everything seemed to improve. Like maybe David wouldn't follow me after all. Maybe he was tied to the house, not me.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Safer, and I managed to relax a little bit.
But then didn't you saw the weird statue in Japan, so maybe not.
Listings for new apartments back in New York. The last thing I want to do is move in the middle of winter, but after the past few months, it seemed like it might be worth it. I felt like there was a way out. But after a few days, I started...
I don't know why. Like, I don't think he ever mentions up until now that he lives in New York, but in my head, he's always lived in New York. Like, just the little things he said about his apartment, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's living in New York. It's like the most New York apartment, the most New York stories. Like, it's fun, apart from the David bit, but... You know.
One night, I got up...
That's also why Donald Trump was there, because as we all know, Donald Trump's from New York. That's how he was in his room.
Bathroom, and as I stood there in the dark, I couldn't help feeling like there was something moving outside the bedroom window. The bathroom looks out into the backyard, and it was pitch black. I could barely see anything, but it's Montana, and there are animals passing through all the time. Sure enough, in the morning, I found animal tracks through the snow. I don't know the specific animal. Deer? Elk? The next night, the same thing happened. I got up in the middle of the night and thought, deer? Sure, I could barely see the window.
A few days, I didn't read after a few days, but I kind of zoned. So I feel strange again. One night I got up to go to the bathroom. As I stood there in the dark, I couldn't help feeling I was something moving outside the bedroom window. He did see tracks. Okay, cool.
It's Montana, and there are animals passing through. A specific animal. Deer? Elk?
Sorry,
the next night.
Dear David. Lol. Dear David, but like D-E-E-R.
I got up in the middle of the night and thought I saw movement in the blackness outside. This time, I stood at the window and gazed out, straining my eyes to see, waiting for them to adjust to the night. For a long time,
I saw him,
stared out into the
evil
snowy
fucking
darkness,
David.
but I couldn't see any movement. Then, just as I was about to turn away, I saw something lurch off to the right and disappear from view. Again, it was too dark to make out the animal, but it could have been anything. Maybe a coyote or something. In the morning, as I was getting out of the shower, I glanced out the window and noticed tracks behind the garage. I couldn't tell what they were from the bathroom, so I got dressed, put on my coat, and went outside. When I got up close, my heart practically stopped. They weren't tracks. They were footprints. Really small footprints.
How do you know, bro? How do you know they're not just like some animal you don't know? You said you don't know the animals in Montana. Maybe it's just some animal that you don't know of, and it looks kind of like feet, but like it isn't. Like he's wearing his little leather shoes. There's not gonna be like toe marks. You don't know. I'm like, come on now. Yeah, like I said, it could be a bunny or something.
The backyard, but they disappeared into the ditch out back. I stood there in the snow, not knowing what to do. What could I do? Call the cops and tell them I found footprints in the snow?
Yeah, they're kid footprints. They're not gonna do anything.
Room. If it had been David out there in the snow, it meant that he could follow me anywhere. No matter where I moved, he could find me. I felt helpless. I flew back to New York the day after Christmas. Back in my apartment, it seemed like I was at square one yet again. I've tried everything I can think of. I've staged my apartment. I've hired a medium. Nothing has worked. And worse, I still feel him at night, watching me from different corners of my room, always getting closer and waking up right before something happens. For the past few nights, I've been using that app that takes photos every couple of minutes, but nothing has shown up.
Okay.
For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work anymore, but I've left it running just in case.
Yeah, because David spotted it, and now he doesn't go near it.
Save for one thing from last night. Last night was particularly bad. I felt sick and had nightmares all night. I dreamed that David was hovering in the corner.
He can fly now? They fly now? Me when I'm thinking... Hold on, this is gonna be a big payoff. Me when I'm talking to my friend about me when I'm talking to my friend about Dear David and I'm talking to my friend about Dear David.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now? They fly now!
No! That's fuck off. That's not it. Shit. Oh, now I feel like a prick. Sorry, we're trying again. Okay. Me, you and I'm talking about Dear David.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now?
This is the shittest version of that edit, but there's the meme. Fuck off. They've ruined it. It usually goes, they fly now? And he goes, they fly now! And then it kicks in. That fucking... You get it, though. They fly now.
Off the ground. He was mouthing something, but I couldn't hear any words. Then, he was hovering above my bed, staring down at me, his mouth moving faster than it should be. I couldn't move. I could only look up at him. Suddenly, he plummeted downward, and I felt this huge pressure crash into my chest. I woke up gasping, the wind completely knocked out of me.
David just fucking, like, jumped on him.
Frantically, heaving for air. But there was nothing. When I caught my breath, I retrieved
imagine
my
how he
phone from the
sounded.
dresser. The photo roll shows nothing of note, save for the last photo, taken just a moment before. And there's the infamous photo of David.
I like the idea that he just had to drop the fucking David doll on himself for a picture just to get this for the tweet. It's really like he just had to drop it and be like,
David coming from the ceiling, basically.
And his name. Chat's been funny today, and his name is John Cena. Funny, wrestling moved him.
Sleeping body. I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss here. I just don't know. The next update is on January 16th, 2018. Sorry for the long delay. Honestly, I wasn't sure I was going to tweet again.
Ever again, ever?
After what happened a couple of weeks ago, everything stopped. Well, sort of.
Oh, really?
I wasn't having dreams anymore, and I was feeling better. I was sleeping through the night again. Actually, I was feeling great. I still do. But things have been sort of weird too. It's hard to explain. I'll try, but I don't know if any of it makes any sense.
Okay.
Basically, as good as things have been for the past couple of weeks, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Like, I've been sleeping fine and I have lots of energy during the day,
That's a good thing.
sometimes I seem to sort of lose time, I guess. Like, I'll look up at the clock and realize a
do you
whole
mean by
hour
that?
has gone by and I don't remember any of it. Or I'll mishear someone and ask them to repeat what they said, but they'll say they didn't say anything. Little stuff like that. But after what I've been through, it's not that
this is
big a
interesting.
deal.
I wonder what this
Despite all
arc
that,
is.
I felt ready to put it behind me.
Really wondering what this arc is going to be.
So on Sunday, I opened Twitter, intending to update you all that it was over. Or at least I thought so. I just want things to go back to the way they were, and it seemed like they had. I was writing something to that effect when I noticed I had way more notifications than usual. I swiped to my mentions and saw that everyone was tweeting to me about something I'd posted on my Instagram story the day before, saying they saw something weird. The stories are expired now, but I have screenshots, and I don't know how to explain it. Long story short, I went to brunch on Saturday with a friend. I posted a few photos to my story.
Just a friend. Friend zoned. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. That's a shame. I was going to be like, oh, he has a girlfriend. And then he said with a friend. I'm like, oh, rest in peace. Okay, never mind. Friend zoned. Yikes.
And they were fairly
Poor fella.
unremarkable. Here's the first two I posted. Totally dumb and normal. They're totally boring brunch photos. I posted one more photo of me and my friend before leaving, and that was that. But the next day I had a zillion messages about the third photo that I had posted. People had taken screenshots and sent them to me.
Jackie's gay? Well, that'll... Never mind. Well, that will explain it. Guys! It is fine that they are friends. I mean, it would have been fine anyway, but now I can't be like, oh, poor guy, because there was never... He's gay. I'll explain it. Yep, there we are.
This is what somehow got uploaded to my Instagram.
Oh, weird. Like creepy eye and stuff. Huh. It's cool.
Story. I have no clue what happened. It looked perfectly fine on my phone when I uploaded it. I'd say it was just a glitch, but I can't make sense of what's happening with my face. Maybe I can. I know what it looks like, what it probably is, but I don't know if I care anymore. I really just want things to be normal again, and things feel normal enough right now. I don't know. I guess I'll keep you updated if something else
It means
happens.
I know what it looks like, what it probably is.
This is when things started getting strange.
They hadn't been strange up until now. I'd say they were thoroughly strange when that kid showed up in his room and Donald Trump was there and
Hello,
stuff.
how are you, Jack?
I'm good.
School break starts tomorrow, so I am happy.
Oh, I'm happy about that as well. More viewers for the streams. Yes! Yes! Means more people are going to be tuning in. Hell yeah. Thank you for letting me know.
Strange thing being this video posted with no explanation of his cat meowing at something off camera, looking petrified.
Why did I do that? Why I hear an animal make a noise and I do it, and then I realize to get clipped. Shit! Oh, shit! My bad. I don't know why I did that. Now I feel dumb. Now I just feel silly. What are you screaming at, bro? What are you screaming at, little bro? What's he scared of? He looks scared. He looks like he's scared of something. Poor little guy.
The next tweet on February 2nd, everything is fine, with 2 spaces between is and fine. And as you can probably tell up till this point, he's an incredible writer and has never made a mistake like that.
I like that she left in her own reply. Just be like, okay, David. I respect that. David did a tweet. He got onto Twitter. I like that she left that in.
And as you can probably tell up till this point, he's an incredible writer and has never made a mistake like that.
He hasn't,
then,
though.
on February the 6th, without ever acknowledging that, some of you already know this, but I thought I should make a short update on Twitter about it. A little over a month ago, I made the difficult decision to leave my full-time job after 4 years with the company.
Oh, really?
It wasn't an easy choice, but it just became too difficult to focus on everything, and I decided it was time to turn my attention toward personal projects. I'm nervous about what the future holds, but I feel good. Again, I don't think I noticed this last time. Maybe I did, but 2 spaces between feel and good.
Yeah.
I know big things are coming. Please don't worry about me. I'm okay, and everything will be like it was before. Another video of his cat meowing at the door, and
I like that he got all weirdly cryptic from here.
freaking
That's
out
kind
over
of cool.
nothing.
And now I know what she means by when she said things got weird.
Context.
Interesting, interesting, interesting. David hacked my phone to play Roblox. Yeah, he's just a kid. That's probably all he wants to do. He just wants to play games. Very long video, this. It's like eerily long.
On March 12th. For everyone asking if I'm alive, I'm doing okay. It's been pretty quiet around here lately, and I've been trying to focus on work. Of course, I'll keep you updated if anything strange happens. But for now, I'm staying busy with drawing and other projects.
Cool.
Hannah Moses replies to him, "We just want answers is all." He says, "You'll get them." People begin telling
What do you
him,
mean?
of course, if you're done with Dear David, let us know. I'm not just going to start inventing stuff to keep a steady flow of updates. I promise I'll keep you informed, but if you're only here for David tweets, I don't know what to tell you. I've had this account for 8 years. Jessica Robinson says, "Do you at least have a statement about the creepy videos / tweets that seem to be not authored by you?" He replies with, "I've avoided speaking on that because I don't have an explanation for it. I wish I did, but they're just as confusing to me." And there you have it, friends. That's where Dear David ends for now.
What?
And that's where Dear David has sat for about a month.
Oh, about a month? Sure, right. Well, there's probably more, isn't there? Fucking hell. I know we've got to find the Dear David playlist.
Hello.
Yeah, yep. Dear David, the end is
Hello,
20
my
minutes
loves,
long.
and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello. My name is Loie, and
Yes. So let's... Oh, is it just her
That's
thoughts?
because you so desperate.
Is it just her thoughts? Oh, wait.
Together, and so
I'm not seeing any tweets. I'm just going to skip it in. Is there more tweets here, or is that genuinely it? Behind you? Holy fuck, a kid with a weird shaped head? Oh, it's me. Shit. My bad. Okay, it's just buffering. Why is my internet so dog shit? The sun vanished and haunted apartment updates. Dear David, the end. What is this? Is there more
we've been
updates here?
planning on talking about this today, just hanging out because we're actually best friends.
So scary, and I would love for them to dig more into who David was.
Okay, cool.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, hello. My name is Loie, and videos about it at this point. I don't know if you guys are even interested.
I do genuinely think that's the end. Like, none of these seem to add anything. Okay. Like, actually, that was it. Okay. Is that it? Is that the actual end?
Hello, my
Like, it's literally just like he stopped. He was just like, eh. I didn't know how to conclude it. Is that it? He just didn't conclude the story? Because he obviously was fake. Did he get exposed at that point? And he was like, ah, shit. All right, we're done. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted to have like a proper ending. No, it got concluded. He just stopped. I don't remember a proper... Check his tweets. I could, to be fair. Yeah, what was he? Moby Dickhead? Let's find Moby Dickhead on Twitter. Oh, is it Moby Dash Dickhead? What was it? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? I can't find Moby Dickhead. I think he maybe changed his @. What was his name? YouTube's so slow. Does anyone remember? Moby _ Dickhead. I tried looking for him. I couldn't find him. Moby _ Dickhead is an account, but it doesn't appear to be. Adam Ellis. Right, we'll look for him in a second. Because I don't think this is him. Also, this is just actually taking forever. Why is my connection so shit? Keeps happening. This. Yeah, the guy's got fucking 2,000 followers. I doubt it's him. Adam Ellis. Let's find Adam Ellis. Oh, yeah, okay.
Mr. Manifold, could you welcome me to the boys?
Oh! I've seen some of his comics online. I didn't realize that was him. I can't never put two and two together. I'm just going to keep scrolling. He tweets a lot. He tweets like a hell of a lot. Is that me? Nice, but this is just me. Why am I the dickhead as well? Why am I being mean to artists? I'm renownedly good to artists. I love them. They make cool stuff. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find it. He drew you as the Wojak. He made me the bad guy. Shit, that's it then. That just appears to be the end of Dear David. Oh. Like, was there an ending? Let me try and find. I'll do a little bit of digging, but it actually seems like that's the end. Dear David. Ending. Final update. Oh, wait.
So my apartment is currently...
Okay, Sniper Wolf did a final updates thing. No, also, this is the stuff we've seen. This is actually it. It actually just, I think it unironically ends there. Dear David official Netflix trailer. Is this the same Dear David? Or is this a different thing? Yeah, I think that is it. Like, actually. That's it. Like, that's actually all. That was the whole story. What an anticlimactic end. Also, is the one on Netflix actually the same? I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think it's the same thing. The next thing. Yeah, it's a shame that it just kind of ends and that's it. Shit. That's it. That's Dear David, everybody. He just stops updating us. Like, still kind of creepy stuff happens, but that you know, he jumped on him and winded him, and then he kind of left him alone, but like he's still maybe a little bit there. That's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it.